The story begins with a flashback from 11 years ago. We see Ivy, Precious's mother, upstairs on the veranda. She notices Vilakazi coming out of a certain house while adjusting his trousers and putting on his jacket as if he has just done something. After Vilakazi disappears from sight, Precious follows shortly after, also adjusting her clothes, and she too appears to have just done something. Ivy calls Vilakazi's driver, who is also Ivy's husband, to inform him of what she witnessed regarding the closeness between Vilakazi and Precious. Now, here's the thing. There aren't many new revelations in Episode 8 of Fatal Seduction Season 2, but the plot does move forward in several interesting and potentially dangerous ways, especially where Jacob is concerned. The clear feeling is that the truth is beginning to surface, and it seems to be happening everywhere. We learn that Precious's mother, Ivy, was married to Vilakazi's driver and had been ready to give testimony in defense of Jiba before she disappeared. This gives us a bit of additional backstory that helps us connect what happened to Busi, who is the source of all these problems. Vilakazi is seated with his wife when news appears on television that there are rumors he will be announced as the new deputy president at the New Year's celebration. His wife congratulates him and tells him that their late daughter is watching from wherever he is and would be proud of this achievement. Meanwhile, at his club, Vuyo manages to unlock Yusuf's phone. He calls someone using Yusuf's phone and tries to tell her something, but the call is cut off. Later, Vuyo decides to call Jacob and informs him that he has Yusuf's phone. He tells him that he managed to track Precious's mother, asking if her name is Ivy. Jacob replies that he thinks so. Vuyo asks why Yusuf thinking this woman was the key to everything. Jacob responds that she stood up to defend his father, but later disappeared. Vuyo is shocked and realizes that she was Vilakazi's driver's wife. She was supposed to testify for Jiba, but never showed up. Jacob later cuts the call when Precious appears, but he tells Vuyo to find Ivy so she can explain everything. At the same time, Jacob's plan succeeds. Vilakazi saw Jacob having sex with Precious and began investigating him, digging into his phone records, which show that he called Vuyo, Yusuf, and most importantly, Nandi. Based on these findings, Vilakazi believes that Nandi is the one who influenced Jacob to seduce Precious, which brings Nandi back into Jacob's life. They share a brief, intimate moment, but Nandi strongly insists that Jacob must abandon the idea of revenge for his father's death because it puts both his life and his family's lives at risk. Back at home, Leonard regrets killing Yusuf. He finds himself crying in the bathroom as memories haunt him. Nandi walks in and finds him crying, but Leonard lies and says he is in pain because there was too much blood, when in fact Zinlei is the one who stabbed him. He pretends that the memories have just come back. Nandi comforts him. Later, Vuyo goes to court, where he meets Amira, where Leonard works as a judge. He tells Amira that Leonard sent him to retrieve his old files to help him recover his memory due to his amnesia. While searching through the files, he comes across Jiba's file. Out on the road, Nandi is jogging when she comes across Vilakazi's car parked by the roadside. The bodyguard orders Nandi to get into the car where Vilakazi is waiting. Vilakazi shows Nandi pictures on his phone, photos of Jacob having sex with Precious, and also shows Jacob's phone records, including calls he made to Nandi. Vilakazi asks Nandi if she is the one who made Jacob sleep with Precious. Nandi denies it. She is then ordered to get out of the car and leave. Meanwhile, Precious thanks Jacob for the love he gave her the previous night as they continue talking. Precious's phone rings. It is Vilakazi calling. Precious hesitates to answer, then receives a message saying, "Nice view, and let's meet at the club," meaning they have already been seen where they are. Vilakazi is closely monitoring them. At the same time, Nandi calls Jacob and asks to meet him somewhere within the next hour. Before Nandi finishes talking to Jacob, Amira walks in, followed by Leonard. Amira informs Leonard that Vuyo went to his office and took some old case files, saying they were for him to help restore his memory due to his amnesia. Nandi jumps in and says she doesn't think it's a bad idea. Nandi says goodbye and leaves, giving Leonard time to question Amira about which files Vuyo took. Without wasting time, Jacob goes straight to the place where he is supposed to meet Nandi. Nandi has already arrived and is waiting. As she waits, she remembers how she began falling in love with Jacob. Jacob enters the room and finds Nandi waiting. They struggle to control their emotions, but before they go any further, Nandi tells Jacob that they need to talk first. She knows about his relationship with Precious. They step outside and Nandi scolds Jacob for getting romantically involved with Precious and for the danger he is putting himself in, since Vilakazi has been threatening her life and her child's life. Jacob defends himself by telling Nandi that he will stop immediately only if she agrees to be with him again. Nandi refuses, even though she still loves Jacob deeply. Jacob then takes out a box with a very beautiful necklace and gives it to Nandi. As you know, gifts for women can be like bait, so Nandi finds herself softening her stance, accepts the gift, and leaves. Related to this, it is also revealed that Clinton works for Vilakazi. After the hit-and-run incident, the minister blackmailed him, threatening to have him imprisoned because he was driving under the influence and fled the scene running from the police. He then forced Clinton to seduce Xinlei, which has been difficult because when Xinlei started a relationship with Laura, Laura became jealous of Clinton and asked Xinlei not to spend any more time with him. However, now they have argued because Laura told her mother about Jacob, which gave Clinton a chance to insert himself again and seduce Xinlei. Xinlei calls Laura and asks if they can talk, but Laura refuses because she saw her with Clinton after she had forbidden her from continuing the relationship with him. Laura asks to end the relationship. Xinlei hangs up and sends Clinton a message asking him out. After being told by Vilakazi to meet at a dirty underground club, Precious answers the call and goes to the club, but memories of past events torment her. She meets Vilakazi, who is extremely angry. Precious admits that she is in a relationship with Jacob for Vilakazi's safety. Vilakazi shows her phone records, revealing Jacob's communication with Vuyo and Yusuf while plotting. Precious has nothing to say. Vilakazi orders her to kill Jacob if she wants to continue working for him, something that is very difficult for Precious. Later, Xinlei and Clinton meet as planned. Xinlei tells Clinton about the incident in which Pila strangled her in the bathroom while threatening her with a knife. Pila, whom Nandi claimed she was in a relationship with in order to protect Xinlei. Later, Xinlei and Clinton have sex. While remembering Vilakazi's order to kill Jacob, Precious opens a drawer, takes out a gun, and goes after Jacob. At that moment, Jacob is looking at pictures he has been drawing when suddenly Precious appears behind him and points the gun at him, accusing him of secretly surrounding her by communicating with Vuyo and Yusuf. Jacob defends himself and asks that before she kills him, she should tell him the truth, that his father was innocent. Precious postpones the plan to kill Jacob and lowers the gun. Suddenly, there is a knock at the door, and they hear Vilakazi's voice saying, "Open the door, it's me." In a hurry, Precious strikes Jacob on the back of the head with the gun, and he falls to the ground. Later, we see Precious with Vilakazi's bodyguards with a body lying on the ground that they intend to bury. Before they bury it, Vilakazi arrives on a motorcycle carrying a saw, saying he wants to make sure no one will be able to identify the body lying there. He hands over the saw and orders them to cut off the head of the body on the ground. Precious is left with no choice, trembling. Episode 8 ends here. What happened? See you in the next episode.